This hospital is the fact that these guys have not complained, their dressing rooms are old hospital rooms. The writers' rooms are actually no BS, the old psychiatric ward. And yes, and we let everybody bring their dogs to work to wage an ongoing 7-year battle with the rat population of this building. And in typical American corporate fashion, they're trying to turn it into a retirement home.
And on the first floor, there's a tiny little, attention notice that says, "This building is filled with asbestos."
I've never seen that.
So I would imagine...
Everybody asked me, when are you going to bring the baby to work? Because we have a year-old baby. I'm like, you think I would bring him to that hospital? It's disgusting.
By the way, that's another often asked question. That kid who is adorable and a cute actor, that is not my child. People always ask if that's actually our son. And although he looks like every person in my son works on a different show.
Bill's trying to make ends meet by...
So, Bill, getting back to the legacy question.
Oh, shoot. You know what? Man, there have been so many truly groundbreaking shows before this. I think the legacy is a simple one. I just hope that 10 years from now, somebody might catch an episode of this show and just say that's pretty funny. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be walking around and saying, wow, we redefined anything or did anything. We put a lot into it, and I'm passionate about it, but the fact that a lot of you guys liked it and enjoyed it, that's legacy enough. You know what is weird is initially this show was, we had a lot of interference because they didn't know if the show was a comedy or a drama, and they kept just hammering me about it on the phone, and I don't know if you guys remember the commercials for when Scrubs, it was just like kooky. Wow, it's a Kooky Docs! Doing Kooky Doc things. And then the third episode of the show, we did this episode that I wanted to show what kind of show it was, and we did this episode that each one of these guys has a patient, and it says 1 out of 3 of these people will die, and then they all died. And it was supposed to tell people early on that this show had emotional stakes. And I kept getting phone calls from the network going, what if none of them died, but one of them got just really sick? I'm like, no, they're all going to die. What if one of them died, but he was a really mean person, like a racist or something? No, they're all going to die. And so, but what happened really early on is that the show developed a great fan base that followed it from time slot to time slot. And we took the gamble of just doing the show that we wanted and hoping that it would stay on. So we stopped listening to
Talk about a couple times where you have been censored a couple times.
Oh, the dumbest thing ever on this show, by the way, was that we wanted to do a medical marijuana show episode in which Judy and Sarah were out trying to get pot for someone dealing with chemotherapy. And that was so taboo on TV that they made us reshoot it. So you couldn't put it on television. And it wasn't that good an episode, but in response, I did a terminally ill person that wanted to have sex for the first time, and those two go out looking for a man whore so that she could. And they were like, "Oh, that sounds great."
To watch this show.
And his mom keeps putting his hand down. No, don't say it. You're gonna embarrass me. Don't you do that.
Whatever happened to the 2 dead dogs, Rowdy and Steven?
Wow! Yes. You, by the way, you have officially qualified as a full-fledged nerd.
The Scrubs nerd.
Tell him about what the
prop
master
master.
did.
This is, by the way, I can. It's okay. I'll tell it in a cryptic way. This is the scariest part about Rowdy. All right, is I knew someone in college that bought a dead dog at a garage sale, and that's how this came about. And the thing that always depressed me was that someone would have their dog stuffed. Get another dog. There's plenty of them out there. And secondly, once Rowdy went on our show, that he became so famous posthumously is very sad, because I think he really would have enjoyed being famous were he alive to see it. But somebody on our show that wasn't a super nice person got let go, and it's not really easy to find dead stuffed golden retrievers. And out of anger, he hid Rowdy in the ceiling. And
Rowdy also, at the same time, was looking a little worse for the wear. I mean, the paws were like...
And the Rowdy Steven joke came around because we, when we, I believe
We couldn't find
with
him.
panic of not being able to find Rowdy, we found the. We went out first. We went looking for a golden retriever. No, I'm joking. We would never. We would never. That's 2 quotes that are going to be burning me. We would never. We found another stuffed golden retriever, and once we found Rowdy above the ceiling tiles, how disrespectful is that? We realized we had 2, so we wrote. We made a mistake on our show. Is that generally with our favorite guest stars, we kill them. And so we killed Nicole Sullivan and we killed Brendan Fraser, so a lot of them can't come back. I like Tom Cavanaugh, having him around, his ex-brother.
Killed Nurse Roberts, but you brought her back.
Oh, yeah, you guys got to forgive me for that. We killed Nurse Roberts last year, but I thought...
Then you felt bad because she drove up in an Escalade.
No, I thought last year was the last year.
That's true.
Wait, what did you say?
He said I felt bad because she had just purchased a car, And by the way, I thought it was Aloma's a good friend of ours. I thought last year...
Aloma rolled up in an Escalade like, hey guys. And Bill's like, uh-oh.
She goes inside and reads the script.
What everybody's going to forgive me for is I killed her character when I thought the 6th year was the last year of the show. And it is tough to find work in comedy out there, man. There's not a lot of comedies on TV. So I told her that if the show came back for a 7th year, she would come back as a different character named Shirley, and we'd never address it. So she is back. She's back in a couple episodes this year as Shirley, and no one sees the similarity except for Zach's character. And don't make fun of me for it on the internet. I'm doing a good thing. She deserves it.
And when Aloma first showed up, she started trying to do a different voice, to distinguish it. And Bill was like, "Yeah, just be Nurse Roberts."
You guys will allow me that.
Look at the rims.